Yo, what up, boys? Are you sitting around with a bunch of unorganized, messy tabs where nothing's getting sold? And are you looking for a way to organize your setup and push your currency just a little bit higher with the least amount of effort possible so you can just get back to playing the game and buy some items for your build? Well, have no fear. That's what we're going to work on today, is my setup for having as little interaction as possible with trading while just getting out there and blasting maps and killing mobs and having a lot of fun. But for that, I'm going to show you a little bit of organization that I do in order to keep my items flying off and actually getting sold rather than just sitting around in my stash tabs and having nothing happen to them. Now, don't mistake, you will have a lot of items that never get sold. That's just the nature of it. But this is going to be a way for them to eventually get either sold or removed in a way that makes sense. So let's just jump straight into it. Don't want to waste anybody's time. I want to talk to you about what I do to keep my currency rolling without sitting around doing any kind of weird trade tricks with Alva or playing the market or searching the trade website or anything stupid or annoying like that. Because for me, I just want to kill enemies. So let's talk about it. Oh, hey, quick update. This is future Colby. I just finished recording the video maybe a little less than an hour ago, and I just want to show you I've already sold a couple of items. What did we get here? Maybe like 3 divines and about 45 exalts just within, the couple of minutes of me doing this trick that I'm about to show you. So I just wanted to butt in here to say that it works pretty quick, and it's probably going to only get better as I start mapping. But anyways, back to the video. The thing that I want to show you is the way I set up my sales tabs. It's actually very simple, and this shouldn't take long. What you want to do is have yourself either a folder or just a set of tabs that you will create with a tiered price dropping setup. Okay, that's what I essentially will call it. So if I look at the tabs that I've got in my actual stash tab folder here for sales, what I do is I create a couple of tabs that start at the low end, and by around usually 10 exalts, I will drop the price of the tab until I tier it up to my eventually 1 divine or above tabs. Now, the next part of this is that, of course you can just drop items into these tabs where all of the items are going to be sold for that amount. That alone is useful, having these tabs ready to go and, some place for you to just drop items that will sell for that. That's fine. Probably a lot of you guys are doing that. But the next part of the setup is actually changing the price of your items on a regular cadence so that eventually they either get sold or you get rid of them completely. The idea is that a lot of the stuff that you put in here is probably just not worth a lot, and if no one is buying it after several days, you can just delete it. What you'll see here is I've got this large quad tab, which is mostly filled up with items. Some of these items will sell for 5 exalts, which a lot of you probably, if you are at the very high end of the end game, you might not even care about 5 exalt trades. So you decide what your low end is going to be. But for me, a lot of these items will sell occasionally, but for the most part, I actually end up deleting, just completely vendoring all of these items. And the crazy part is some of these started off being listed much higher. So what I'll do is, you see I've got slightly different colored tabs, and what ends up happening is these tabs that are in this color right here are the ones that I have listed for 10 exalts for maybe a day or two. I'm actually just going to go ahead and change the price of all of these tabs down to 5 because they've been there for a day or two and nothing has sold. And so the 2 different ways of doing this is, since we're all the way at the bottom now, I can either just move everything to the quad tab and start deleting crap out of here, which I will probably do if I run low on tabs. But generally speaking, I'll just change the price of these, and then I'll change the color back to indicate that this is now a fresh 5 exalt tab. Okay, these are no longer stale. And then right here, you see this one right here. This 10 exalt tab is now ready to be the fresh one. These are the ones I've just found recently. So I don't want to just immediately change the price on these. And so if I go up, you'll see here's a 30 Exalt tab where I had a bunch of jewelry. This stuff has been 30 Exalt for quite a while. It hasn't sold. So I'm going to go ahead and drop everything down to 20. And so now we have a tab that is 20. And so this one I'm going to move over to, oops, sorry. So now this is my new 20 Exalt tab, okay? And then this one right here has been there for a while. I'm actually going to change the color to indicate this needs to be the next one that drops to 10. And this is what I'm just going to go through and do. Now, actually I didn't log in for a little bit and I forgot to do this. So these aren't colored, but I am actually going to drop the price of all this stuff too. So you're starting to get an idea of what's happening here is, and now I need another 30 Exalt tab. So what ends up happening is I'm going to go through here. In one of these tabs, I'm probably just going to drop everything out of it. And I can throw this into that quad tab and I'll use this now for my 30 Exalt tab, okay? So let's just do that real quick. As I kind of jump through here, I can see that my tab is pretty much full. So the easy solution for me as this type of items has been through multiple tiers of price dropping, as well as being, sitting around in this tab for quite a while. Now, this may be painful for some of you guys who are, I don't know, natural born hoarders, but trust me, if you are playing the game and finding items constantly, if you saw my previous video about how to completely juice your maps and get a crazy amount of items, you'll know that this is no big deal. We find so many item drops that this is actually just a common occurrence to see. So we're going to go through and get rid of all this crap to make a lot of extra room for more item cells and the other tabs. So I'm just going to sit here and vendor these. These do not matter. They've been there so long. They're probably just never going to sell. And so now we have room to throw some of the stuff from these other tabs into the big one and repurpose the 5 Exalt tabs into some of the larger tabs, which I have already lowered the price of the other items that are in those respectively. So let's just, skip ahead. I'll get rid of these other low tabs and we'll be good to go. Okay, we're back. I have finished throwing all of the items from those 5 Exalt tabs into here to pretty much fill this up almost completely. And I deleted a lot of the items that were already there first in order to make room. Now, what I'll probably be doing as well, which I do is at some point, is I'll take all of the jewelry out of here. Once you can see my jewelry is starting to fill the tabs up. What I'll end up doing is I have all these 3-to-1 tabs. So I've got a folder of rings, which are called 3-to-1. And I'm pretty damn, if you haven't noticed, I'm pretty lazy. I haven't ever gotten around to doing it, but occasionally I'll go through here and I'll do 3-to-1 on all of these rings, and I'll just crunch them down in order to kind of do like a little quick gambling session to if I need some more stash tabs, which I honestly probably should do this, and I'll crunch them down to see if I can make some better rings. So that's basically the final step of your jewelry specifically. Rather than vendoring it, make a 3-to-1 tab, and that's kind of nice to do. So. But yeah, for now we need to go ahead and so here's one of the tabs that was it was a 10 Exalt tab. So we'll go ahead and move this one down and make this our new 10 Exalt tab. And this one is going to be right here. We're going to put it in the front, and then this was the existing tab. We're going to recolor it to show that this is the next one to drop to 5 Exalts if these items don't sell. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to go down the line. And so this one here, this 20 Exalt tab here now needs to be converted to 10 and so on and so forth. And we're going to keep going up. Now, once you get to the higher priced set of items, the thing to keep, oh, look, we actually just got a trade on the stuff after we dropped the price. So this is what I'm talking about. So essentially you start dropping the price of stuff. Maybe the things were listed at the same price as other stuff, but now your things that have been sitting there for days will eventually start to sell, or you can just get rid of them. And that is the idea. So let's just take care of this real quick. All right, perfect. Moving on. We now are getting up, let's say, to the higher tiers of items. So this right here is going to go down to 30. And that's how much I'm dropping it. Everything from 50 all the way down. Now if you want to drop it in lower tiers, that's up to you, but I don't really care. We're going to put this down 230. This is fine. This is going to be, looks like this tab was already fresh. I'm just going to, since this is an empty one, I got to repurpose it. We're just going to kind of make no tab out of it. I don't know what to do with this. We'll see where my tiers are. I think I need another 50 tab, right? Okay, that's what I should do. So we're going to move this one over here. This is our new 50 tab, and that is totally fine with me. So exact price 50, easy peasy. So now we have a new 50 tab. The 80 tab, this one is going to be dropped down as well. This is actually going to be 50 as well, probably. So yeah, we're going to drop everything that was in 80 tab down to 50. All right, so this is now 50 as well. And that'll be good to go. Actually, yeah, so I did not need it. This one needs to be 80. Yeah, do you see what we did there? So we had a fresh tab. We removed the 80. That's the new 50. This is our new. Okay, so there we go. And this divine tab. All right, so this one actually needs to be dropped down to 80 at this point as well. So this, we're gonna move down to 80. And you'll see sometimes you kind of like goof around because you realize you have an empty tab. And when you start dropping stuff. So this one is actually 80. And we'll put the color back up to show that it's fresh. And I guess we don't need that. And then this tab right here is now our older, an older divine tab. So we're going to change the color because this is the one that's going to drop down next. These right here sells, if there's anything, okay, so this is all of the stuff that I've individually priced because I felt, okay, some of these items are potentially worth a couple of divines, so I've individually priced them. Now, depending on how you feel about your higher price items, what I would generally do when you get to the point where you're individually pricing your items is just go in and have stuff that's been kind of stale in there for a while, and I'll just drop it by one divine or more, depending on how many divines I've listed it for. So if I just start scrolling over things, if there's anything that is a 2 divine sell, I'm going to immediately drop it out. So there's a 2 divine sell, boom, get rid of it. 2, get rid of it. And we're going to put all of the stuff that was 2 into the 1 divine tab. And so that will be easy enough. So we're going to just get rid of all these 2 divine cells, and anything in here that needs to go to 1 divine is going to drop literally by half. I don't care. I want to get rid of it. So we are now in the 1 divine tab here. I guess there's only 2 items here. I could move these to the 80 exalt tab. I'll just drop them into the 80 exalt tab manually. We don't need to like literally change the whole freaking tab for this. Usually whenever I'm changing the tab, it's because there's just a lot of items in there. But as you can see, I could just easily throw those in. Okay, so price 1 divine. Here we go. This is now the new 1 divine. So all these 2 divine items are now 1 divine. Easy peasy. And let's change the color to show this is fresh. And now for these, we'll just drop them down by like, 1 divine. So now this is 2 divines and so on and so forth. So 3, and I'm just going to keep dropping everything by an order of magnitude until eventually it sells. So that is the goal. You kind of have seen the way it works. We don't need to really talk about it further. You get the idea. And so you decide how you want to drop your price of items. But in my opinion, if you're playing the game enough to find a large quantity of items, you really don't need to be sitting here on a lot of this stuff, because if it never sells, then what's the point? You're not making currency. Just get rid of it. That is my take on everything. And hopefully you guys will start to move some of your messy tabs into a more organized fashion. Get rid of those old items that you've had sitting around for a long time. Sell off all of those low exalt tabs that are never going to sell. By the way, when I first started doing this, I had, oh God, I had like 10 plus tabs of 2 to 3 exalt items that I had from the beginning of the league. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. Who cares? Sell it off, vendor it, get some gold, respec your character. It doesn't matter. Start making some currency, start playing the game and not worrying about your tabs as much. This will make it so that you can spend less time messing with stuff and more time just having fun. So that is pretty much it, guys. Hopefully, if you have gotten any value out of this, let me know in the comments below with a like. And if not, then, tell me why it sucks. And I'll see you around for the next one. Peace.